I'm sitting here in my kitchen, holding the papers that changed everything. The deed to the house. The house my son, Jamal, bought with my life savings. My hands are shaking not from anger, but from a sadness so heavy it steals my breath. I just learned something I never saw coming. My bedroom door is cracked open, and I can hear every word of Jamal's phone call with his wife, Kesha. His voice is full of excitement, talking about their future. Our future, or rather, their future. Yeah, baby, everything's set. The papers came in today. The house is officially ours. I hear his laugh. The same laugh that once lit up our home when he was a little boy. Your mama's gonna be so happy living with us. Finally, Miss Cynthia will have her own room with a garden view just like she always wanted. My heart stops. Miss Cynthia, his mother-in-law, is moving into the house I paid for. The home where I thought I'd finally have my place, my space, my family. And me, Jamal, I whisper softly, knowing he can't hear me. I keep listening. Nah, baby, we already talked about this. My mom's fine in her apartment. And you know how she is, she always finds something to complain about. It's better this way. More peaceful for everyone. Us, the kids, and your mom. A real family. A real family. The words hit me like ice-cold needles straight to the chest. I'm the one who emptied my life savings, who sold my mother's jewelry, who gambled away my financial peace just so he could have this house. And yet, I'm not part of their real family. I close my eyes as memories rush over me like waves. 6 months ago, Jamal sat in this very kitchen, in the same spot where his phone now lies. He had that same sad, puppy dog look he always uses when he wants something. Mama, I found the perfect house. It's everything Kesha and I ever dreamed of. 3 bedrooms, a yard for the kids, in a great neighborhood. But I need your help. I just need $20,000 for the down payment. I promise I'll pay you back in 2 years, Mama. And of course, you'll always have a place with us. You'll always have a place with us. Those were his exact words. I remember because I wrote them in my journal that night. I was so excited, I couldn't sleep. After years of feeling like a guest in my own son's life, I thought I'd finally have a home, a place to grow old, surrounded by my grandbaby's laughter, family dinners, warm holiday mornings. Jamal, baby, did you tell your mom about the plans yet? Kesha's voice slices through the phone like a blade. What plans, baby? He asks. The plans, that she's not moving in with us? That the house is just for the 3 of us and the kids? You know my mom needs her peace. And we already talked about how your mom can be hard to live with. Hard to live with. Me. A woman who's lived 69 years without disturbing a soul. Who raised this man alone after his father walked out. Who worked double shifts to put him through college. Who never asked for a single thing in return. I'm hard to live with? No, I haven't told her yet, Jamal says. I figured we could talk about it after the move. You know how she gets when things change. You know how she gets. They talk about me like I'm some difficult child, not the woman who made this house possible. I quietly stand and walk to the window. Rain slides down the glass like the tears I refuse to let fall. 25 years at that dull office. 25 years saving every penny, skipping little joys, buying clearance clothes, packing my lunches just so I'd have something to leave my son, so I'd be secure in my old age, so I'd never be a burden. And somehow, I'm a burden anyway. Baby, we really need to figure out how we're going to tell her, Kesha says casually. Maybe we can suggest she find a smaller apartment, something more fitting for her needs. You know, something more affordable. Her voice is so calm, so practical, as if they're deciding what to cook for dinner, not planning my exile from the very home I paid for. Something more affordable. Right. Now that they have my $20,000, now that they got exactly what they wanted, it's time for me to go find something more affordable, something better suited to my needs. As if my needs don't include love, family, and a place with the only people I have in this world. The phone call ends, and I hear Jamal's footsteps heading toward the kitchen. I sit down quickly and pretend to study the electric bill, pretend I didn't just witness my future being erased in under 10 minutes. "Hey, Mama. How you doing?" His voice is soft, caring, as if he hadn't just finished planning a life that no longer includes me. "I'm good, son. Are the papers for the house all set?" "Yeah, perfect. Everything's in order. We'll be moving in soon and starting a new chapter." A new chapter for him. For Kesha. For Miss Cynthia. For the kids. A new chapter where I don't exist. "That's good, son," I say, keeping my voice steady, controlled. "I'm happy for you." He smiles and kisses my forehead like he always does. A gesture that once made my heart swell now feels like mockery. Like the kiss of Judas. "Thanks for everything, Mama. You know this wouldn't have been possible without you." It's where I normally write my monthly expenses, but today, something different is going on these pages. I'm making a list of every dollar I've given Jamal in the last 5 years, every loan, every emergency, every little bit of help that was never paid back. The list keeps growing. $2,000 for the used car. $800 to fix the transmission. $10,000 for the kids' school uniforms and supplies. $700 for Kesha's dentist. $3,000 to cover their credit card debt. $500 here, $300 there, and now $20,000 for the house. The total blurs in front of my eyes. $48,300 in 5 years. $48,000 I saved since I was 18, skipping vacations, buying the cheapest groceries, carrying the same purse for a decade. $48,000. For what? For mandatory Sunday visits where I sit quietly in a corner while they talk about their lives. For grandkids who barely know me because Grandma Dolores is boring. For being left out of birthdays, graduations, family dinners because we don't want to inconvenience you, Mama. We know you don't like to go out. I close the notebook and walk to my bedroom. I open the closet and pull out the shoebox where I keep my most important documents. Birth certificates, my will, insurance policies, bank statements, everything that proves my legal and financial existence. I wrote my will 3 years ago, when I turned 66. In it, Jamal inherits everything. My apartment, my savings, my life insurance, even my grandmother's jewelry locked in the bank's safety deposit box. Everything for him because he was my only son, my only family, my reason for living. How naive I was. It's 7 a.m. when my phone rings. It's Jamal. "Hey, Mama. How you doing this morning?" "I'm doing good, son," I answer. My voice sounds normal, polite, but it feels like someone else is speaking for me. "You need something?" "Well, yeah. Kesha and I were talking last night and we were wondering if you could help us out with a little something. You know, with the move there are some extra expenses we didn't plan for." "More money." "It's always more money. How much do you need?" "Just $3,000, Mama. For the movers, some furniture, we need paint for the rooms, you know, to get the house perfect before we move in next week." Next week. He's moving next week. And he never even told me when. Never even invited me to see the house I paid for. "Jamal, can I ask you something?" "Sure, Mama. Anything you want." "When do I get to see the house?" Silence. A silence so long I wonder if the call dropped. Well, Mama, the house is still getting some work done. When everything's ready, we'll take you to see it. You don't want to see it all messy, do you? And when am I going to move in with you?" Another silence. Even longer. "Mama, about that. Kesha and I talked, and we think it might be better if you stay in your apartment for now. You know, until we see how we adjust to the new house. The kids might be nervous with the change, and Kesha's stressed with her new job." "Her new job?" "Yeah, I didn't tell you. She got hired at an accounting firm. They're paying her really well, almost $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month. Kesha is now making $2,000 a month, yet they still need my $3,000 for the move. My $3,000 that I'd have to take from the savings I live on, with my $700 a month pension. Jamal, I say slowly, I need to think about the $3,000. Think about it, Mama? You've never had to think before when I asked for help. Is everything okay? No, son. Nothing is okay. Nothing has been okay for years. I was just too blinded by love to see it. Everything's fine, son. I just need to check my accounts. I'll call you in a few days. In a few days? But Mama, we need the money by tomorrow. The movers want a 50% deposit. And I'll call you in a few days, Jamal. I hang up before he can say another word. My hands are trembling, but not from fear. It's something else now. Determination. I walk over to my old computer, the one Jamal helped me set up 2 years ago so I wouldn't feel so lonely, Mama. I turn it on and wait as the screen slowly comes to life. I'm not great with technology, but I know enough. I know how to open my online banking. There it is, my savings. After giving him the $20,000 for the house, I have exactly $2,300 left. $2,300. $300 between me and total financial ruin between me and depending entirely on a son who plans to cut me out of his life the moment he's settled into his new home. I pick up my phone and call the bank. Good morning, National Bank, how can I assist you? Good morning. I need to speak to someone about my savings account. I want to make some important changes. Of course, ma'am. May I have your account number and full name? As I give my information, something rises in me, something I haven't felt in years. Control. For the first time in a long time, I'm making decisions about my money, my life, my future. How can we help you today, Ms. Jones? I'd like to remove my son as an authorized beneficiary on my account. And I want to cancel the additional debit card in his name. I understand. May I ask why? Yes. You may. The truth forms on my tongue, sharp, cold, honest. Because I just realized I've been financing my own exclusion. Every dollar I gave them was an investment in my future loneliness. A pause. So please mark it as personal changes in my family situation. Very well, Ms. Jones. I'll process these changes immediately. Is there anything else I can assist you with? Yes. I'd like information about changing my will. We do offer guidance, and we work with attorneys who specialize in estate law. Would you like us to mail you some information? Yes, please. Send it to my registered address. When I hang up, something feels different. As if I've taken the first step toward a life I don't fully recognize yet but know I need to step into. My phone rings again. Jamal, of course. Mama, did we get disconnected? What happened? We didn't get disconnected, son. I told you I'd call you in a few days. But Mama, I need to know if you're going to help me with the $3,000. The movers are already pressuring me. And Jamal, have you ever wondered if I needed help with anything? What? Mama, what are you talking about? I'm worried about you, are you okay? Do you want me to come over? It's not necessary, son. I just need some time to think. Time to think? Mama, I'm only asking for $3,000. It's nothing major. You've always helped me. Yes. I've always helped you. But when was the last time you helped me? I'll call you when I have an answer, Jamal. Mama, seriously, you're scaring me. You've never acted like this. He's right. I've never been like this because I was never this clear. Never this aware of the truth. Never felt this mix of pain and clarity giving me the strength to do what I should have done years ago. Have a good day, son. I hang up again and this time, I turn my phone off completely. I sit in my living room, surrounded by the quiet of my apartment. For the first time in years, the silence doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't hurt. It feels full of possibility, full of choices I finally get to make. I look at my hands, these 69-year-old hands that worked so hard, gave so much, and I make myself a promise. They will not give another dollar without receiving respect in return. Over the next 3 days, my phone won't stop ringing. Jamal calls every 2 hours. Then Kesha starts calling. After that, even the kids leave voicemails asking why I'm not answering. But I keep my phone off. I need the silence to think, to plan, to truly see the situation for what it is. On Wednesday morning, I turn the phone on just to check my messages. 27 missed calls. 15 texts. I read them one by one, and with every message, I feel more certain I'm doing the right thing. Mama, I'm worried. Please call me. Jamal, 7:30 a.m. Tuesday. Dolores, it's Kesha. Jamal is really nervous. Is everything okay with you? 11:15 a.m. Tuesday. Mama, the movers need the money today. I can't wait any longer. Jamal, 2:45 p.m. Tuesday. If you don't call me today, I'm coming over to your apartment. Jamal, 8:20 p.m. Tuesday. Grandma, Dad says you're sick. Are you okay? My grandson, little 8-year-old DeAndre. My grandson thinks I'm sick because his father told him that. Because in Jamal's mind, the only reason I wouldn't immediately hand him money is if something is wrong with me. But the message that hits the hardest and at the same time brings the most clarity is the last one, sent early this morning. Mama, if this is about the house, we can talk. Maybe we can figure out a way for you to have your space, too. But I need you to help me with the move first. Then we'll fix the other stuff. Jamal, 6:30 a.m. today. Then we'll fix the other stuff. The other stuff is me. My place in that house I paid for. My right to be treated with dignity. My value as a mother. My humanity. All of that is the other stuff that can wait until after he gets what he wants. I get dressed with intention today. I brush my hair, put on a little makeup. I'm stepping out of this house with purpose. I have several important appointments to attend. My first appointment is at the bank at 10 a.m. I walk the 6 blocks there, breathing in the crisp morning air. I hadn't realized how long it had been since I walked without rushing, without carrying someone else's worries on my shoulders. For the first time in years, it's just me, my thoughts, my plans, my future. Inside the bank, Miss Anderson, the same woman I spoke to on the phone, greets me with a warm, professional smile. She's around my age, graceful and confident. Good morning, Miss Jones. How are you feeling after the changes we processed for your account? I'm feeling good, thank you, I reply. Actually, I'm here today because I'd like to make a few more changes. Of course. What would you like to do? I want to open a new savings account completely separate from my current one, and I'd like to transfer $10,000 into it. She raises her eyes slightly, not in judgment, but in understanding. Any particular reason? Let's just say I want a clearer level of control over my personal finances. Miss Anderson nods. I can tell she understands more than she says. I'm sure she has seen this story play out with many women my age, women who spent their lives giving, only to realize they need to protect what little they have left from family members who treat them like a never-ending bank. That's a very smart decision, Miss Jones. This new account will come with its own debit card. If you prefer, we can also send the statements to a different address. Yes, please. I'd like the statements sent to a P.O. box. Certainly. And one more thing, I might recommend you consider placing a portion of the funds into a certificate of deposit. It will earn more interest, and it can also help keep the money safe and untouched for a period you choose. The interest is better, and the money will be far more secure. When I leave the bank, I feel lighter. $10,000 now sit in an account only I know about, money Jamal can't borrow, can't guilt me for, can't use to build a life that shuts me out. It's the first piece of a future where I'm not financially trapped. My second appointment is at noon, at the law office the bank recommended. Attorney Michael Carter's office is small but neat, and he greets me with a calm, patient smilemth kind of patience that comes from understanding how overwhelming legal decisions can feel, especially for someone my age. Ms. Jones, I understand you'd like to review your current will. Yes, counselor. I need to make some important changes. I explain everything plainly, no tears, no drama. I tell him about the $48,000 I gave Jamal, about the house, about how he plans to move forward in his new life without me, after using my savings to get there. Attorney Carter listens closely, taking notes, not shocked, just sadly familiar. Ms. Jones, he says gently, unfortunately, your situation isn't uncommon. I see this often. What changes would you like to make to your will? I want my estate divided differently. Jamal will still receive a portion, but I also want to leave money to charities, especially ones that support older women who are financially vulnerable. Do you have any specific organizations in mind? Not yet, I say, but I will. Could you help me research some options? Absolutely. And I'd also recommend considering conditions on your son's inheritance. What kind of conditions? For example, he would only receive his share if he meets certain commitments to you while you're alive: medical support, regular visits, including you in major family decisions. The idea hits me both smart and heartbreaking. Is this what motherhood has come to? Needing legal contracts to force a child to show basic respect? Let me think about it, counselor. Of course. In the meantime, I'll draft the initial changes. Would next week work for a follow-up? When I step out of the lawyer's office, it's 2 p.m. and I'm hungry. But instead of going home to make a sandwich like always, I choose something different. I walk into a small diner and take a seat by the window. I can't remember the last time I ate at a restaurant alone. Any time I went out, it was with Jamal and his family, and I was always the one paying. Today, I order what I actually want: pan-seared salmon with vegetables and a glass of white wine. The bill comes to $35. Money that once would have felt like a waste now feels like an investment, not in someone else's comfort, but in my own happiness. I eat slowly, watching life move outside the window. Young couples holding hands. Mothers pushing strollers. Older folks walking with canes but walking with purpose. Ordinary people living ordinary lives, and it hits me. I'm allowed to have an ordinary life too. A life where my choices aren't dictated by other people's demands. A life that belongs to me. My phone vibrates. A text from Jamal. Mama, I can't take this anymore. I'm coming to your apartment at 4 p.m. We need to talk. I check the time: 3:15. 45 minutes to get home and prepare. And for the first time, I'm not afraid of the confrontation. I'm almost curious. Curious to see how he reacts to the version of me he's never met. I pay the bill, leave a generous tip, and step outside. The sun is shining, and for the first time in years, I feel like it's shining on me, not around me. As I walk home, I rehearse nothing. I already know what I'll say. I won't yell. I won't list his failures. I won't beg him to understand. I will simply tell the truth with clarity, calm, and finality. I reach my apartment at 3:50. 10 minutes to breathe. To center myself. To claim the space inside of me that I gave away for far too long. I sit in my favorite chair by the window, the chair where I used to wait for calls, invitations, scraps of affection. Today, I'm not waiting for anything. I'm ready. At exactly 4 o'clock, I hear footsteps in the hallway. Then a knock, firm, impatient, entitled. The knock of someone who expects the door to be opened immediately, because it always has been. Not today. I stand up slowly, smooth out my skirt, and walk toward the door. Before opening it, I take a deep breath and remind myself. This is my home. My money. My life. And for the first time in years, I'm going to act like it. I open the door. Jamal is there and Kesha is right behind him. She's wearing the same look she always uses when she wants something but tries to disguise it as concern. They both stare at me the way people look at a lost child they finally tracked down. Mama, thank God you're okay. We were so worried, Jamal says as he leans in for a hug, but it feels rehearsed, like he's performing care, not feeling it. Why weren't you answering your phone? Do you know how stressed you made us? Hello, Kesha, I say calmly. She only nods. I'm not a child, Jamal. And the stress you've caused me these past 3 days is more than I've ever caused you in your entire life. Mama, what are you talking about? We're family. We should be able to talk about things. Talk? I repeat. You didn't talk with me. You talked about me. You discussed how I'm too hard to live with. How you were planning to move me into a cheaper apartment after using the money I gave you to build your real family's future. Their eyes widen. You talked about me like I was a problem to solve. A burden to manage. Not a human being. Not your mother. Jamal's face drains of color. He glances at Kesha, who suddenly looks like she swallowed something bitter. Mama, he starts. That's not what happened, Jamal stammers. We were just what, Jamal? I interrupt. Just planning to use me and then push me out of the picture? The $20,000 for your house, the $48,300 I've given you in the last 5 years, did you think I could keep giving forever? Did you think my love was a bottomless ATM you could withdraw from without ever depositing anything back? Mama, please, he cries. I'm sorry. I know we messed up. Kesha and I talked and we changed our minds. We want you to live with us. We'll make it work. I promise. No, I say quietly, steady. You won't. You only want me now because you're afraid of what you're losing. Not because you love me, but because you're afraid you're losing access to what I give you. But Jamal, you already lost me the moment you decided I wasn't part of your real family. He breaks down in heavy sobs and Kesha tries to pull him close, as if I'm the one hurting him. Mama, don't say that, he cries. I am saying it, I reply, voice firm. And hear this clearly, I am no longer the Bank of Dolores. I'm not your emergency fund, your safety net, or your backup plan. The $3,000 you need for your move? You'll figure it out. Because you won't get another penny from me. Not today. Not ever again. Jamal looks at me, truly looks, and for the first time, I see shock in his face. Because he never believed the well would run dry. I need you to leave now, I say. My voice shakes, but it holds. Mama, please, let's talk. We have talked, Jamal. I've been talking for 69 years. I'm done now. He stands frozen for a moment. Then he and Kesha turn and walk out. I close the door and lean against it, my legs weak. I'm exhausted, but I have never felt more alive. I sit down in my chair, the one by the window. I realize I've spent my whole life focused on everyone else's needs, so much that I never stopped to ask what I needed. I gave and forgave and excused every disrespect. So why does it still hurt? Because forgiveness doesn't erase consequences. And trust isn't rebuilt with words, only with actions. When they're gone, I stand at the window for a long time. I don't know if Jamal will ever truly change. I don't know if he'll go 1 year without asking me for money. I don't know if we'll ever build something real. But I do know this. I'm no longer afraid of being alone. I'm no longer afraid to say no. I'm no longer afraid to defend my dignity. I pick up the phone and call Leonida. Hey girl, how's your day? She answers. Interesting, I say. Jamal stopped by. And? How'd that go? Different. Maybe there's a little hope. I'm glad. What are you doing this afternoon? I was thinking about heading to the park. Sitting under that big tree I love and reading for a while. You want company? I'd love that. As I get ready to go, I catch my reflection in the hallway mirror. I see a 69-year-old woman who finally learned that her worth isn't defined by what she gives away. A woman who reclaimed her life. And for the first time in a very, very long time. I smile.